Why just watch sword fights, mecha fights, or assassins when you can have some love along with them? Here are 10 romance action anime you might have missed. Let's go! Number 10, Eureka 7.
この子調子悪いみたいなの。だからちょっと見てくれない？
Sometimes luck lands near you as a robotic girl, and no, that doesn't happen in real life. Here we have a boy who's got two choices: either become a mechanic like his grandfather or an adventurer like his father. His struggles over his life choices come to an end when a robot crashes into his garage. And a couple of days later, he also meets this girl called Eureka. So our boy went from a lonely mechanic to a guy with a robot and a girl. Now, that's what we call character development.
それなしには人は機械を動かせないんだ。分かってるよね。耐えられない。
Eureka 7 isn't all about romance. It's got some great action and mystery in it as well. And as soon as our main character assembles his own gang, and even though they aren't the Avengers, their adventures are cool. Oh, and you're also going to realize halfway through that even though this looks like a kids show, it isn't actually a kids show. So get ready for some really, really dark elements along the way. Number 9, Love of Kill.
もう少し丁重に扱ってほしいな。ああ、ごめん。痛かった？
You know what comes with action. Assassins. Chateau Dankworth is a newbie bounty hunter caught in a game of cat and mouse with the deadly assassin Sung Ryong Ha. Ryong Ha's into her right away, helping her with missions but also chasing her down from her past. They make a weird deal. She goes out with him and he gives her intel on dangerous targets. And you thought you had relationships that were complicated.
癒そうとあるじゃん。なんだ。ちょっと安心した。
This series is not your typical romance. It's got a nice mix of psychological drama and action that keeps you hooked. The chemistry between the leads feel genuine, from hate to respect, which is pretty rare. I also appreciated that Chateau could hold her own against her own enemies, showing she's not just some damsel. The art feels polished, voice acting solid, and the soundtrack hits the right notes. I'm surprised this didn't get a second season. Number 8, Full Dive. The ultimate next-gen full dive RPG is even shittier than real life.
このゲームにやり直しなんてないの。現実世界にニューゲームなんてないでしょ。リアルを追求するってそういうことよ。
なんでドヤ顔？
We always see how these isekai games make protagonists get their life, right? But what if it makes your life worse? This is about high schooler Hiroshi Yuki who escapes his stressful life by diving into a super realistic VR MMO game, which boasts a mind-blowing 10 sextillion story branches. When he stumbles upon it thanks to a cute shop clerk Riona, he's amazed by its realism, until things go sideways and he starts facing some real trouble. And by trouble, I mean he accidentally kills his best friend, awakens a yandere, and gets chased around the city.
落ち着いて。現実よりは痛覚が低めに設定されているから。
全然そうとは思えないんですけど。
This show is a total laugh riot. Seriously, rather than trying to be original, it acts as a satire for most isekai releases nowadays. It's not the deepest story, but the humor in Hiroshi's antics really steal the show. And to my surprise, this show even gives some character development to the main character. I know this show has its haters, but ignore the haters and give it a go. Number 7, The Fable.
なんか私たち兄弟って設定みたいよ。
お前と俺がボスめ面白がってる。
Fable is an intense anime about a legendary assassin, Fable, who's forced to lay low in Osaka for a year to avoid trouble with the law. Well, that's where the intense part ends and the comedy starts. Now, Fable has to navigate life as a civilian, avoiding assassination attempts and trying to stay alive, all while outsmarting the Yakuza plans around him, while also trying to blend in socially.
そんな V ネックで黒いシャツなんかダメ。第一印象のイメージから変えていかなきゃ。
It's not easy for an assassin to be social. Honestly, this show is a gem. Great voice acting and a story that hooks you in. The action scenes are top-notch, especially with Akira, and the characters feel real. Sure, the pacing drags sometimes and the cliffhangers are frustrating, but the storytelling and intense moments completely outweigh that. It's a binge-worthy ride I'd totally recommend for anyone into crime thrillers, assassin dramas, and some comedy and romance along the way. Number 6, Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of a New World.
私がこの数日どれだけ君を探し回ったことか。
僕を探してた。
なんでもないわ。
This anime is basically like Romeo and Juliet, but set in a magical war zone between the Empire and the Nebula's sovereignty. The story kicks off with Iska, a knight unjustly imprisoned for freeing a witch, getting released under one condition: hunt the ice calamity witch Alice. It turns out both want peace, so they wonder if they should team up. You know, it's the good old turns out my enemy isn't such a bad enemy sort of anime.
私と君の仲じゃない。
敵同士なのに？
敵同士よ。でもここは中立都市よ。休戦でしょ。
Now, I gotta say, the show's real strength is how it leans into those cheesy coincidences that actually make the relationships surprisingly compelling. The animation is solid, especially the ice magic scenes, and the opening and ending songs give you those feel-good vibes. Characters like Ren and Sispel also add extra flavor. It's a slow burn, but it's worth it. And if you like it, Season 2 is also out. Number 5, Seven Seeds.
私を好きになる人なんていませんよ。
なんで？岩清水さん可愛いのに。きっとこっそり見てるやつとかいると思うな。
And we're back again with some Netflix anime. The story jumps right into chaos when Natsu wakes up on a sinking boat with 5 strangers in a super dangerous post-apocalyptic world. Humanity's basically gone and she's stuck trying to survive with a bunch of guys and gals who all have different skills. Except Natsu's just a shy high schooler who can't really shout for help. Together, they're rushing to reach the 7 Fuji to find a way to keep humanity alive in this brutal new world.
ウツボカズラ、食虫植物だ。
落ちたら
消化されちまう。
I devoured this anime in just 2 days. It's really hard to look away. The art is top-notch, typical Netflix quality, which always hits nicely. It's intense, tackling heavy stuff like murder and abuse, but it's also pretty clever. The mix of chaos and deep emotion, especially between 2 lovers who wake up apart, makes it pretty unique than your typical rom-com. If you're into dark, intense anime, this one's gotta be on your list. Number 4, Chained Soldier.
だがそれには私の能力について話しておかないといけないな。
This ecchi action romance supernatural femdom and several other tags I cannot add series kicks off with Yuki Wakura, a pretty average dude who gets pulled into a Mato dimension where women have powerful magic and monstrous enemies called Shuki. When he's saved by Koyoka, the tough-as-nails leader of a female defense squad, things get interesting. Yuki gets an unexpected role as a powerhouse thanks to her slave ability and then has to work under her.
あまり他の組長にデレデレするな。お前は私の奴隷なんだからな。
Okay, let's admit it, this is one of those shows. It's not trying to be deep or groundbreaking. It knows what it's meant to do. Entertain with fun character interactions, hot moments, and cool abilities. The relationships, especially between Yuki and the girls, develop surprisingly well, but sometimes can get annoying when they treat them like dirt. I feel like they tone down a lot of the fan services, but hey, maybe we're approaching that age of anime censoring. Number 3, Fena, Pirate Princess.
だから前に出るな。今後絶対に。
それは嫌。いつか私もみんなの役に立ちたい。
だからそれが余計なことだと言ってんだ。
Oh man, I love this series. It's something I would stack up near Yona of the Dawn. This follows Fena Houtman as she escapes her grim life on a mysterious island and sets sail on a quest to find Eden, the secret her father was trying to protect. Alongside her crew and a former childhood friend, Yukimaru, she navigates dangerous waters, old enemies, and new allies in search for the truth, all while uncovering her own past destiny.
彼を守れるようになりたい。
This anime totally blew me away. The art's stunning and totally immersive, making every scene feel like a visual feast. Plus, the soundtrack hits all the emotional beats, especially in those final episodes. The characters are super well developed, and even the villain gets a satisfying wrap-up. It's rare to see action romance done so well. Like I said, this is something that comes close to Yona of the Dawn in terms of quality and writing. Number 2, Ranma 1/2.
お米と味噌を買うからよ。
そんなのは茜のバカ力なら余裕だろ。
なんですって？
ここまでおいで。
Ranma 1/2 kicks off with its classic premise. Ranma and his dad are cursed after a martial arts mishap in China, turning Ranma into a girl whenever he gets soaked with cold water, and his dad into a panda. Yes, that's how you can tell you're in for a wild ride. The story quickly spirals into chaos when Ranma's betrothed to Akane, a fiery girl he's forced to live with, leading to hilarious misunderstandings and some secret love.
お前だ。なんだよ。何よ。お前が悪いんだぞ。
This remake is a total highlight for Takashi fans and newcomers alike. The animation's slick, and Mappa's direction makes every scene pop. And you'd need scenes to pop in order to match the vibrant and more fast-paced animation of the 90s. What really stands out is how this series balances comedy with character growth. Ranma and Akane's cute, awkward relationship feels so natural, with fun rivalries and adorable moments. Shampoo and Ryoga steal the show, and the show's humor never feels forced. If you love rom-coms, check this one. Number 1, Rurouni Kenshin.
待て。何すんのよ。下ろしなさい。
手負いでの深追いは命取りでござるよ。
We're finishing off with another remake. Rurouni Kenshin follows Kenshin Himura, a wandering swordsman with a dark past. As he stumbles into Tokyo's streets, he gets involved with Kaoru Kamiya, who's trying to rebuild her father's dojo. Now, it turns out Kenshin is the real Batosai, the legendary assassin everyone's been talking about. As Kaoru learns his truth, she's drawn to his vow to protect the weak without killing, even while his haunted past comes knocking with new enemies.
つくづく救えぬ男だ。気絶しない程度に力を抑えた。
As a huge fan of the original, I gotta say, the adaptation does a solid job balancing heartfelt storytelling and character depth. It doesn't go into the usual shonen cliches, and instead focuses on themes of guilt, redemption, and complex villains. A lot of people said the animation was a letdown, but I personally didn't feel anything. I might be biased because I mainly watched this to see the love story between Kaoru and Kenshin. If you're like me, give this a go.